behind them, there's Sittner, number 33, in 11th place ahead of O'Brien in the Holden. And Frank Sittner, behind Jerry Marnie here, is leading the B class. And Bristow locking up, he's running wide, he's going off, Marnie goes through. Marnie moves up a place. Is Frank Sittner going to take Bristow too? The answer is no. Because as they come up to McLean's, there is Marnie, number 8. Behind him, Bristow. Behind him is Mike O'Brien, who's got ahead of Sittner. Behind Sittner is James Weaver, and that is Roland Ratzenberger. And they are Soper and Rouse is trying to take Soper on the outside of the chicane. He won't get through. He doesn't. But Andy Rouse is really pushing Soper now. Steve's got to keep all his cool. Chris Hodgetts is still there. This is the best race we've had in the series this year. And Rouse is up it. No! Soper just holds the inside line. Soper leads, Rouse second, Hodgetts third. And it is as close as that. There is Soper ahead. 17 years he's been racing. He's won one of the prestigious Grovewood Awards. He's won the race at Calder in Australia last year. He's second in the European Championship this year. But he's met his match in Andy Rouse, who is right there behind him. Coming up to McLean's, Soper, Rouse, Hodgetts. And they're pulling well away now from Mike Newman as they go into Coppice. Now, how does Andy Rouse see things as they come out of Coppice? And this is the answer. Straightening it up, down the long straight, building up to 125 miles an hour, underneath the bridge. Now you go back into second gear. There he goes. And up alongside Soper, but Soper gets through. All the time, Andy Rouse is saying, I'm here and I'm trying to come through. And all the time, Soper is saying, and you're not going to do so. Soper's got his lights on. They come into the right-hander at Redgate. Soper's put his lights on so the people that he's coming up to lap will see him coming and move over, and he's on the curb. Andy Rouse looks as though he's getting Steve Soper just a little bit rattled, because Soper is noticeably going up on the curbs more than Rouse as they lap that tail ender. And there's more of them ahead. 1, 2, 3 ahead. They're lapping 8 seconds faster than the VW Golf 1800cc cars. Now, coming up to the tail enders, this is going to be critical for both Soper and Rouse. Past 1. Just watch him reel in those 2 ahead as he's coming up now. Past 2. Past 3, clear track ahead. Andy Rouse has passed them both too. He's right up with Soper. Wonderful scrap. And behind them at the chicane, there's another wonderful scrap because Guy Edwards in the white and blue car moves up to 4th place, ahead of Mike Newman, number 14. On to Redgate, Soper and Rouse absolutely together into the right-hander. Rouse taking it very tight. Soper drifts out wide. Rouse is going through. He's through. Andy Rouse leads. Wonderful. But can he stay where he is and make it 3 wins to Steve Soper's 1 in 1988? Well, Andy Rouse seems to be pulling away now. Tremendous power his engine has got. Up to McLean's. And Andy Rouse has just created a new lap record, 94.94 miles an hour, and that will give him an extra point in the championship, provided Soper doesn't beat it, and no one else will. Down to the chicane again, and it looks as though for the first time in the race, Andy Rouse is going to be leading at the end of a lap. But now he's got the problem of lapping people with Soper right behind him. Past 1, 2, down to Redgate, 3. Doesn't he make it look so easy? Out of Redgate, nice one, Andy, and Soper's through too. So they're carving through, and off goes Mark Hales in the Toyota Supra. Rejoins the circuit. And he's chasing Ray McDowell. There's the Toyota. And And at Redgate, behind Marnie and O'Brien, it's the battle of the Class B BMW M3s. There's Sittner. He's leading the class and he's got to stay there to retain his overall championship lead. And Frank looks as though he's going to do just that. And his ProDrive BMW teammate, James Weaver, is protecting him from his main opposition, Roland Ratzenberger in the orange BMW. There it is in the background. There goes Marnie, O'Brien, Sittner, James Weaver, the protector, and then Roland Ratzenberger. Now, Sittner's going well, you can see that, but he's got a problem. Roland Ratzenberger has broken the B-class lap record at 91.8 miles an hour, and unless Frank can go quicker, that'll lose him a vital point. Frank's won his class 9 times with 4 fastest laps. Andy Rouse has won his 8 times with 6 fastest laps. And if things stay as they are now, there'll only be 3 points between them in the British Championship, with just the final round at Silverstone on October the 2nd to go.
Well, Andy Rouse did manage to see it through to the checkered flag from there after yet another memorable contest with Steve Soper, a victory that still kept Rouse right in contention for the title, which would now be decided in the final round at Silverstone. But at Donington, Rouse from Soper, with Chris Hodgetts having managed to stay in touch with the front runners for the first few laps, settling for 3rd. But the important lower placing was the 11th overall for Frank Sittner, but first in Class B, which means that he kept a 3-point lead over Rouse and a 6-point lead over Phil Dowsett, who once again won Class D in his Toyota Corolla. But while we were concentrating on the Rouse-Soper battle, interesting to see how Sittner against Ratzenberger was resolved off the start line. Ratzenberger getting slightly the better start, Sittner is on his right, and Godfrey Hall is the man in front. Around Redgate, Ratzenberger and Hall will touch. Sittner completes the sandwich by forcing his way down the right, and Ratzenberger has to take the long way round Mike O'Brien, and Sittner is away. Then a lap later, Ratzenberger in pursuit misses a gear, and that allows James Weaver to come through along with O'Brien. Weaver now in the perfect position to protect his ProDrive teammate, who went on to claim maximum points. Well, ProDrive are based in Banbury, and they show exactly how far saloon car sport has come in the last few years. An exterior and workshop which gives more an impression of Formula One than the circuit racing and principally rallying that's the team's background. They may lead the Touring Car Championship, but they also dominate European rallying as well.
Rallying is where we came from. Rallying is part of our heritage almost, and we've got far more experience and a lot of results. This year we're currently still leading in the French Championship. We've won the Belgian Championship. We're runners-up in the European, and we're sort of second in Italy. So we're focusing on the British Series and the Touring Car Championship, but in fact I would say 80% of our work still revolves around rallying all over the world. So we're certainly not going to forget it tomorrow. I think rallying's been changing recently, going through a bit of a sort of down cycle, if you like, and I think it's quite good that we got involved in racing to try and balance the two out. But we'll certainly continue in our rallying involvement for the future, that's for sure.
But now, on the eve of the final British Touring Car round at Silverstone, the priority is guiding Frank Sittner to the title. Nothing will be left to chance for the final round.
We obviously have to change the final drive ratio and all the sort of setup details.
But the engine's the same, gearbox the same.
It's all as it was at Donington. Same suspension, everything's just been.
So we're not making no
checked.
experiments then for this weekend.
No experiments. Everything's been reset and rechecked, and oils changed and filters changed, and spanner check and spanner check and spanner check.
So another class win would give Sittner the title. Will Hoy is drafted into the team to give support and protect the team's #1.
Let's say that I'm fortunate enough to get an early lead, for example, and Will was behind me. Then very obviously he would attract the attention of the pursuers, allowing me to drive smoothly, to get the best lines, and to concentrate on making a break. It's as simple as that. And all one needs, if you like, is to make a cushion of 2 or 3 seconds, and then if you continue the rest of the race without making any mistakes, it's going to be very difficult for anybody to catch you up. And that's only part of the story, because once they've caught you up, they've got to overtake you. So if you've got a 3-second cushion, that's a great comfort. Bearing in mind, of course, that you've then not got to make any mistakes. If I spin in that race on Sunday, I've lost. If Andy spins in that race on Sunday, he's lost. It's as simple as that. Any error costs the championship.